Kia ora te whānau. In this video, we're going to be talking about Hoani Waititi, Marae. We did a redesign concept for this amazing marae. If you don't know Hoani Waititi, the urban marae located in West Auckland. Marae acts as a community hub for our urban Māori population and as a site of Te Kura Kaupapa Māori or Hoani Waititi, one of the first Kura Kaupapa Māori established in New Zealand, Aotearoa. So this is their existing website. If you go to hoaniwaititimarae.co.nz, and this is what we came up with. So I'm just going to give you guys a bit of a 30,000 foot view for now, and we're going to talk through each and every one of these steps. Every single month, we're giving away 5 free website concept redesigns to 5 different charitable trusts, registered charitable trusts that have got websites already. So if you're keen on that, there is a link in the description below. You go through to our website, you read up all the information about it. 1, if you're registered, big tick, and 2, if you've got an existing website, that's the other tick that we need. Then we can go through. For this month in August, we've already got our 5, but in September, we've only got 1. So get in quick. We can give you guys a fresh, new looking website redesign. We usually charge $500 plus GST for these, and it's absolutely free if you're eligible. So first things first, James, what is a redesign concept?
Yeah, cool. Redesign concept is basically one or two things. So there's a goal here, and it's to firstly do a visual refresh. So what we want to do is we want to update the website aesthetics. That could be the color scheme, that could be any imagery, and anything we sort of feel should be brought to the forefront. That's the first part of it, is to give it the visual refresh, and the second part is to improve the user experience. So anyone coming onto the website, we want to make sure that they're able to find their way around. And so that's pretty much what we're trying to achieve. And if you think about in a website that already exists, what we're doing is we're taking that visual that we've already got and trying to turn that into something that's easier to view and easier to find your way around.
So
that's pretty much a concept.
So are we actually building the website for them?
No, this is just the concept. It's just the design. So it's just basically, here's a picture. If you like this picture, then cool, let's have a talk about this picture. And some of the things on that picture might not be exactly what you want. That's for further kōrero down the track. But it's pretty much like, hey, based on what you've got on your site already, here's a picture of what we think it should look like. It's not actually, hey, let's go to the next step of building that picture. So that's the concept piece.
Could you kind of like compare it to, say, like architectural drawings for a building or landscape designs?
Pretty much, yeah. So if you were to think of it of building, if you were going to build a whare, you'd obviously have some plans, and then you'd go and get a builder to build based on those plans. We're building the plans, basically. We're giving you and then you've got this flash architectural drawing, like you say, and it's the architectural drawing that we're giving to you. It's giving you that visual.
Kia ora, James. So looking at the original website, this is what they've got right now, and then flipping over to our redesign. Mm-hmm. Can you talk us through the size of this image here compared to the other one, and what's actually going on with this kind of image and the colors and everything like that, please?
Yeah, sure. So you can see with this website design here, the visual of the marae, you can't really see it because it's hidden behind the text. And so what we've done is we've brought that design forward a little bit so that you can see the whole marae image. Now, ultimately, like people coming to this site can now see the whole marae, so they know, this is Hoani Waititi Marae. Viewing it on this page, you can't actually see it. You can see some of the other images from the marae, but you can't see the whole marae. So that's ultimately what we're trying to do here. And also with the colors, you can see that they've got a red color that they're already using across their website, and it's also used inside their logo as well. It's quite a prominent color, or what we'd like to call a primary color. And so with that primary color, we've taken that color and used that in some of the spaces where we feel are quite significant. And so for the book Marae button, for example, and also down over here, we're making sure that's quite large because that's what we feel people would be most likely coming to the website for.
It's quite important for us to note that when we do these redesign concepts, we don't actually have what we call in our business like a website planning corridor or a discovery with our redesigns. We take what's already there and we give it to our designers without any input from the client or anything, and we just put something together. So we're only kind of guessing that the book de Marae is the first thing that they want to have to do, that they want the users to do when they come to the website. And the reason why we do that is just so we kind of cut down on a lot of time as well, right? So we don't want to be typically when we go through this whole process, it is $500. That's got to get approved by the board. It's got to go through certain hands. But what we're trying to do is just kind of shorten down that whole process. So we're just going to say, hey, look, we're going to do this as a koha, and we don't actually know if book the Marae is the thing that Hoani Waititi Marae wants the user to do. So we're just kind of putting this together for them.
Yeah, so I guess you're trying to say from this piece here, with this book the Marae button, we don't know if it's the thing they want to do in this website concept, but we're just trying to push this concept out because obviously this is a koha. It's free for them. And so, if they like it, then we can have a deeper corridor about, hey, can we change this button? Can we do this? Can we do that? Yeah, sure. Let's look at those options and let's get it built, right?
Kapai. Awesome. If we just kind of scroll down on that page just a little bit, we've got Marae Social Services, and if we have a look at that at the previous page, the services are actually up there in the they're quite far down, and they're also up there in the menu somewhere. What was the thinking behind the designers wanting to push those services further up the page than having it further down the page?
Yeah, okay. So usually like 90% of the time, the second reason people will come to your website is to see what other things you have to offer. And for Hoani Waititi, those were hidden right up the top here in the menu, right down over here. And so we felt that people coming to the website should see those services up front. Yes, there's some important stuff that they do need to know about, like they need to know about the whakapapa or the history behind the marae, but also the next thing is, hey, like let's get into those social services and see what services this marae has to offer. So whenever we're looking at website data and going through a process with a client to do a full website, rebuild, we'll look at that data that's currently there inside analytics, and we'll see what things people have been looking at in the past. And that data usually tells us a story to say, hey, most people are going to, these service pages to see, what it is you do.
Kapai. Okay. And I also see if we can scroll down just a little bit more, there is a social media feed over here. Now, a lot of websites don't have this on their website. They just kind of have their website very separate to their social media feed for Facebook. What was the whole purpose or the whole idea of bringing that? And how does that even work? Like, is that live data from their social media, or is that actually like images?
I'll answer the first question. So is the why. The first question to the why is because what we want to do as well is anyone that's visited the website from social media, firstly, we want to show them, yep, this is the right page, just in case, it's not the right page and someone's put another page out there. But secondly, also it increases engagement for the social media channels. So anyone that sort of hasn't been on this website before, they can see those social channels and they can click over to those and see and follow those channels. The third thing as well is it just helps to keep the content on the website fresh. So it's a little hack that I like to use across websites to bring in social media feeds. Now, what's really cool is that instead of doing blogging, you can just use your social media content, and that keeps all that content fresh, and just, brings a bit of life to the website to show that, hey, this isn't just an organization who updated their website in 2021, 2022. There's fresh content going on here, because you can see on here it says on Monday. So this is like what we're doing is we've got a piece of technology that pulls in those social media feeds and is able to keep that website content fresh. So if you were to move from, hey, this website design concept over to, yeah, we want Rise to look after building this website for us, we would use our software to do that on your website and pull that in. So website's fresh and increases engagement and followers. So that's pretty much the reasons why and how we do it.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a lot of clients that, don't have time or don't have someone that's able to go into their websites to create blogs or to create articles or to update the events page, anything like that. But, with the social media, they kind of take some photos and they upload them straight away. It takes them 5-10 minutes. This is a really good way to keep that website fresh, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay, and just the last one, I suppose, is just talk us through kind of like that overall layout, because it's very different to what they've got at the moment. Can you just talk us through that?
Yeah, sure. So if you have a look at the current layout, you can see that there's pretty much a lot of writing and a lot of words in here, right? So whereas this one's quite visual. So what we're finding on the internet at the moment is that people are really not reading all of the text. They're reading short snippets of text. And when you have long pieces of text like this, you actually need to split it up, or you need to section it out with headings and that kind of thing. Most people are going to read these big headlines and then they might read the text below. But what we're finding is they're just skipping over text. You can see with this design, it's very text light, so there's not a lot of copy or text in here, and we're splitting it up with those big headings and the read more. People are loving video, so tell the story in video. I mean, this stuff's not new; it's been around for a while. And in terms of the layout for this as well, there's a lot of whites that's been used throughout here, and we've got this lovely dark Hung color that's in here. So we're just trying to introduce a lot more of that into that design as well, because we sort of feel it fits with the branding. And again, like normally we'd get handed some brand guidelines for a website when we're running through this process. But because this is like, hey, here's our current website, build us something new, and we're just running through a really quick, short process, we're just trying to, figure this out the best we can and try and push something out. So yeah, again, that's pretty much the layout. Also down the bottom here, we've got the sign up to our newsletter. So one thing with Hoani Waititi is they have a whānau sort of area on their current website. And you can see that up the top here, you can log in or register. But what we didn't see on here was a way for whānau to sign up and capture those email addresses. And so that was one thing we wanted to do, was firstly get them on the journey of getting on the newsletter that gets sent out. And then, maybe down the track, they're on the email list, so we can ask them, are they registered with our marae, et cetera, to get all the other info. So that's pretty much the layout there. Also, if you have a look at the footer, so we haven't changed too much in the design there, but we've just split the sections up so that they're easier to read as well.
Okay, Tiwi, so that was our kōrero around redesigning a concept for Hoani Waititi Marae. I suppose you're wondering what happens next. Well, once we've gone through these designs, if Hoani Waititi or any other the charitable trusts or any other customer that we work with would like us to go ahead and build this website for them, again, there's no obligation, but we've got a very simple process. First, we've got to go into a website planning session. Now, that could take an hour, 2 hours, could actually take a couple of days, depending on the size and the complexity. Again, if we're looking at that analogy of a architectural drawings for a building, right? Depending on if it's like a 1-bedroom house or a 2-level apartment or even a skyscraper, that's going to really depend on the size and scope of the project. Okay, so how much work is involved with creating that website? Once we understand how much work is involved, then we're going to present a quote based around the work involved. But if you're out there as well, charitable trust, you made it this far, you're keen on us having a look at your website or any part of your marketing, the link to our website is in the description. And if you're interested to get on the list for getting your website redesigned and you are registered charitable trust and you do have a website already, click the link below as well and you can have a look at concepts for causes on our website. Mō te ore te whānau.